Hello. I have a question for you. Have you ever heard the word fractured? Not just in stories, fractured. Fractured means when you have something and it doesn't quite break in half, but it might break and kind of be offset, Maybe a bone in the body could be fractured. Ouch. A piece of wood or a stick could be fractured and not quite broke apart. Well, in stories, fractured for stories is a story that's broken up and kind of retold in a different way. So if you've heard the story of Little Red Riding Hood, which I think most people have, you know that Little Red Riding Hood, she was on her way to Grandma's house because Grandma wasn't feeling well. And then the wolf comes along and he wants to take and eat the little girl, but then he decides, oh, he'll go to Grandma's house and try to catch up with her, get to her first. So that story has been told for hundreds of years. It's a fairy tale. Well, a fractured fairy tale is when you take a story like that and you change it up. And that's what we're going to read today is a fractured fairy tale. So my story today is called Little Red Hat instead of Little Red Riding Hood. It's by Eric Kimmel. He's the author who rewrote the story. Laura Holiska Bythe is the illustrator who draws these great pictures. Little Red Hat. How many of you like hot, spicy type things? Not hot temperature, but hot, spicy food. Can you handle hot peppers? Ooh, I can't. But lots of people can. A lot of hot peppers, what they do, people who grow them, they will string them up like this and let them dry out, and then they can chop them into dried peppers for spices and food, or you can eat them while they're soft and ripe, and if you're strong enough, eat them straight like that. Oh, not me. Little Red Hat. There's our title page. Here we go. Once upon a time, there was a little bitty Texas gal called Little Red Hat. There she is, Little Red Hat, just eating her peppers straight out of the bowl. Folks called her that because she loved to eat red hot chili peppers. She ate peppers for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She ate pepper ice cream for dessert. She had hot pepper cake for her birthday with jalapenos on top instead of candles. Folks used to say that Little Red Hat could eat fire out of the stove. Little Red Hat would answer, "No, I wouldn't do that. Fire ain't hot enough." One day, Little Red Hat's mama said to her, "Little Red Hat, I heard from Grandma today. She's feeling poorly. I think she has a cold. Could you drop by and look in on her? She'd feel so much better to see you." "Well, I'll do that, Mama," Little Red Hat said. "I'll bake a hot pepper pie, Grandma's favorite. It'll knock those cold germs right out of her." Little Red Hat got busy in the kitchen. In no time at all, she had mixed up hot pepper pie. She used Louisiana hot sauce instead of milk and filled the crust with eggs, cheese, and the hottest chili peppers she could find. Jalapeno peppers that could make a grown man cry. Tabasco peppers that could knock over a longhorn. Habanero peppers that could take the paint off a wall. And Naga Jalakas from India, one of the hottest peppers in the world. Each one came with a warning label. Little Red Hat put the pie in the oven to bake. She didn't have to turn the oven on. That pie was so hot, it baked itself. Now, of course, that's not true, right? You have cooking heat, and then you have a spices heat. But that's silliness. Little Red Hat got on her pony and set off for Grandma's house. Along the way, she met up with Pecos Bill and his cowboys. "Hey, Little Red Hat, where are you going?" they called to her. "I'm taking a hot pepper pie to Grandma. She has a cold," Little Red Hat said. "Now you be careful on your way to Grandma's house," said Pecos Bill. "We just talked to the three little tamales. They said that Senor Lobo, the big bad wolf, is prowling around the neighborhood. You keep an eye out for him." I'll do that, Pecos Bill, Little Red Hat promised. So you have some other characters. Little Red, or Pecos Bill is a character from another story. The three little tamales instead of the three little pigs. No sooner had Pecos Bill and the cowboys ridden out of sight when Little Red Hat saw a big gray animal lopping toward her. "Hold it right there! Don't you come any closer!" Little Red Hat yelled. "I know who you are. You're Senor Lobo. Pecos Bill warned me about you." The big gray animal stopped running. "Oh, you got me all wrong, miss," he said. "I'm not Senor Lobo. I'm Senor Coyote. I may be tricky, but I wouldn't hurt a fly." "You're mighty big for a coyote," Little Red Hat said. "You're mighty smart for a little girl, and pretty too. Where are you going?" "I'm going to visit my grandma. She's feeling poorly," said Little Red Hat. "Oh, what a good little girl you are. You tell your grandma I hope she feels better." And off he went. Of course, that big gray animal wasn't Senor Coyote at all. It was Senor Lobo, and Little Red Hat had no business talking to him. But it was too late to do anything about that now. Even worse, Senor Lobo knew a shortcut that took him straight to Grandma's house. He stepped up to the front door and knocked. You can see all the path he's taken. Knock, knock, knock. "Little Red Hat, is that you?" Grandma said. Senor Lobo made his voice sound like Little Red Hat's. Yes, Granny. I heard you were sick. I hope you feel better." "I feel better already now that you're here. Come on in." Senor Lobo did just that. Grandma let out a yelp when she saw him. Grandma was sick, but she wasn't slow. She jumped out the window and ran. "I'll catch her later," Senor Lobo said. He rummaged through Grandma's clothes until he found a spare nightcap and nightgown. He put them on and hopped into bed just as Little Red Hat arrived. "Howdy, Grandma, it's Little Red Hat. I'm sorry you don't feel good. Why's your front door open?" "Oh, to let in the breeze, darling, to let in the breeze," Senor Lobo said. "I brought you a surprise, Grandma." Little Red Hat went into the kitchen. She cut a big wedge of hot pepper pie and put it on a plate. She carried it to Grandma's bedroom. Senor Lobo lay on the bed with the covers pulled up to his nose. Little Red Hat looked at him real hard. "Grandma, what big eyes you got." "Oh, the better to see you with, darling," Senor Lobo said. "Grandma, what big ears you got." "Oh, the better to hear you with, darling," Senor Lobo said. "Grandma, what big teeth you got. Now don't you say another word, 'cause I know what they're for," said Little Red Hat. "What are they for, darling?" Senor Lobo said. Look at her eyes. I think she's figured out something isn't quite right here. "They're for eating hot pepper pie. I made it just for you." Little Red Hat shoved that wedge of pie into Senor Lobo's mouth. Look at his eyes. Oh, he's not used to hot pepper pie. Whoa! To say he yelled wouldn't do him justice. He hollered so loud space aliens could have heard him over in the next galaxy. He didn't go out the front or the back. He shot straight up like a rocket, right through the ceiling of Grandma's bedroom, trailing fire and smoke as he went. Right through her ceiling of her house, her roof. Look at his face. That's when Pecos Bill and the cowboys arrived. Grandma told us Señor Lobo came by. Where is he? Little Red Hat pointed up at the hole in the ceiling. He went that-a-way. I don't suppose he'll be back. Would y'all like to stay for supper? I got hot pepper pie for everyone. Oh, no thanks, Little Red Hat, Pecos Bill and the cowboys said. We're brave, all right, but not that brave. So Little Red Hat and her grandma ate that hot pepper pie all by themselves. Every last crumb. And guess what? It knocked those cold germs flat out. And there's the end of the story of Little Red Hat. Did you like that story? Kind of compares with the other, but a whole new story. A fractured fairy tale. Hope you enjoyed that. See you soon.